In a quiet corner of Kyoto, where cherry blossoms fell like pink snow, there was a high school unlike any other. And in that school there was a teacher named Miss Aya Mori. She wasn't just beautiful, she was like a character from a classic novel, with a smile that could calm the most restless heart, and eyes that held the wisdom of ancient stories. She taught literature, but her real lessons were about life, passion, and the courage to find your own path. Then there was Kenji Tanaka. He wasn't the top student, nor the most popular. He was an artist, a boy who saw the world not in facts and figures, but in colors and light. His sketchbook was his closest friend, filled with charcoal drawings of rain-slicked streets, ancient temples, and, more often than he'd admit, the graceful silhouette of Miss Mori as she read poetry to the class. He was quiet, observant, and hopelessly captivated by his teacher. Kenji's feelings weren't a typical schoolboy crush. He didn't just admire her beauty, he admired her soul. He saw the way she spoke about classic literature, her face lighting up with a passion that mirrored his own feelings for art. He saw a flicker of loneliness in her eyes sometimes, a gentle melancholy that he longed to understand and perhaps, one day, to paint away. One afternoon, after the final bell had echoed through the empty halls, Kenji stayed behind to work on a painting for the school's cultural festival. It was a landscape of the Arashiyama bamboo grove, but he was struggling to capture the way the light filtered through the towering stalks. He was so absorbed, he didn't hear the soft footsteps approaching. "That's a beautiful start, Kenji-san." Miss Mori's voice was gentle, startling him. He nearly dropped his brush. Blushing, he mumbled a thank you. She looked at his canvas, her head tilted. "You have a remarkable talent for capturing light," she said, her gaze thoughtful. "But it feels like you're holding something back. What are you truly trying to say with this painting?" Her question struck him. No one had ever asked him that before. People saw his art, but she saw him. He found himself opening up, explaining his frustration, how he wanted to paint not just the scene, but the feeling of peace and wonder it inspired. She listened, truly listened, offering not criticism but encouragement. "Art isn't about perfection, Kenji-san," she told him, her smile warm. "It's about honesty. Paint what you feel, and the truth of it will shine through." That conversation was a turning point. It became their ritual. Kenji would stay after school, and Miss Mori would often stop by the art room, a cup of warm tea in her hand. They wouldn't always talk about art, they talked about books, music, dreams, and the quiet beauty of their city. Kenji learned she had moved to Kyoto to escape a life that felt too planned, too predictable. She learned about his dream to study art in Paris, a dream he had never spoken aloud to anyone. In those quiet moments, the line between teacher and student began to blur. They were two souls who understood each other, finding refuge in their shared passion for beauty and meaning. Kenji's art transformed. His paintings became bolder, more emotional. He painted Miss Mori, not as a teacher at her desk, but as a figure in a sun-drenched garden, her laughter captured in strokes of bright yellow and gold. He never showed her those paintings. They were for him alone. One day, as graduation neared, Kenji received an acceptance letter from a prestigious art school in Paris. It was his dream come true, but his heart ached. The thought of leaving, of losing these precious moments with Aya was unbearable. He found her in the art room, packing away supplies for the end of the year. He held out the letter, his hands trembling slightly. She read it, and a brilliant, proud smile spread across her face. "Kenji-san, this is wonderful. I knew you could do it." But as she looked up at him, she saw the conflict in his eyes. The room fell silent, filled with the unspoken words that had been building between them for months. "I don't know if I can go," he finally whispered, his voice thick with emotion. Aya's smile softened into something more fragile. She stepped closer, her expression serious. "Kenji," she said, dropping the formal san for the first time, "you must go. This is your path. You have a gift that the world needs to see. Don't let anything, or anyone, hold you back." He looked at her, at the woman who had unknowingly become the center of his world. "But what about this?" he asked, gesturing between them. "What about us?" Aya's eyes glistened. She reached out and gently touched his cheek, her touch sending a jolt through him. "What we have," she said softly, "is a beautiful story, and the best stories don't always end. Sometimes, they just have a new beginning. Go to Paris, become the artist you were meant to be, and maybe," she paused, a hopeful light in her eyes, "maybe our story will find its next chapter someday, when we're no longer teacher and student, but just two people who found each other in an art room." Kenji left for Paris. His heart was a mix of exhilarating hope and profound sadness. He and Aya didn't write letters or make promises. They let the story rest, trusting in the connection they had built. Years passed. Kenji became a celebrated artist, known for his ability to capture emotion and light in his work. His most famous collection was a series of portraits of a woman with a gentle, knowing smile, her eyes holding a universe of stories. The critics called it the Kyoto Muse. One spring evening, at his first major solo exhibition in Tokyo, Kenji stood amidst a crowd of admirers. He was polite, but his eyes kept scanning the room, searching for a face he had painted 1,000 times from memory. And then, he saw her. Standing near a painting of the Arashiyama bamboo grove, bathed in the soft gallery light, was Aya Mori. She looked exactly the same, as if time had lovingly preserved her. Their eyes met across the crowded room, and in that single silent moment, a new chapter of their endless story began. Thank you so much for watching this journey unfold. If you love stories that touch the heart and soul, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more. We'd love to have you as part of our community. See you in the next video.